3 weeks later, in a quiet corner of the galaxy, the Galactic Council sat in emergency session. 12 alien species filled the chamber, each more nervous than the last. Screens flickered, news feeds from Earth and nearby sectors showing the massive black fleet's return. The humans, said Councillor Verthak of the Zon Dominion, have awakened something ancient and terrifying. They say it's their own fleet, hissed another. But that fleet was dead, lost, forgotten. A sharp voice cut through the room. They survived, and they're stronger than ever. Everyone turned to see High Chancellor Rael of the Tyranny, one of the oldest races in the galaxy. Earth must explain itself, Rael said, eyes glowing. If they hide more monsters in the void, we will not wait for the next shadow to fall. Asterisk, asterisk. Back on Earth, tensions were rising. Military bases were on high alert. The president stood before the Global Assembly. They are us, she said firmly. They are our ancestors, our soldiers. They were forgotten. Now they lead. But do they speak for Earth? Asked one general. She paused. I don't think anyone speaks for them anymore. Suddenly, an alert sounded. Incoming transmission from deep space. It was a council message. Urgent. Demanding Earth's leaders appear before the Galactic Council within 48 hours. If not, Earth would be declared a rogue planet and cut off from the galaxy forever. Asterisk, asterisk. Elias Trent sat at a rooftop bar, watching the stars again. Beside him was Admiral Kale. Yes, she had returned. Not in ships, not in force. Just one person, one voice. I need your help, she said to Elias. Why me? He asked. Because the council fears us, and you still speak their language. He sipped his drink, eyes on the sky. And if I say no? She gave a small smile. Then Earth faces the galaxy, without its best. Asterisk, asterisk. 2 days later, the council chamber was full once more. But this time, a human ship arrived. Not Earth's, not sleek, not polished. It was black, angular, scared from 100 battles. It moved like a shark among minnows. As it docked, the council guards readied weapons. Admiral Kale stepped out. No escort, no armor, just her presence. Behind her, Elias Trent walked slowly, nodding to a few shocked alien ambassadors. Kale stood in the center of the room. You sent Earth a message, she said. Now I bring you an answer. Councillor Verthak rose, furious. Do you threaten us? Kale's eyes didn't blink. I remind you, the stars are not yours. She stepped closer. For centuries, we bled in the dark, not for Earth, not for glory, for survival. She looked at each counselor. We became something new, something beyond what Earth ever imagined. Rael leaned forward. Are you human? Kale paused. Then said, we were made by Earth, but shaped by the void. We are what comes next. Asterisk, asterisk. A long silence followed. Then Elias spoke. The Black Fleet doesn't seek war, but they won't kneel either. Then what do they want? Another counselor asked. Kale turned her head. Respect. A murmur swept the chamber. Kale continued. We will guard the outer rim. We will patrol the dead zones. We will protect what the council fears to face. Rael narrowed his eyes. And if Earth dares command you again. Kale's voice was ice. They will be reminded. Asterisk, asterisk. Later, back on the ship, Elias looked at the stars. They don't trust us, he said. Kale nodded. They never did. Then why offer to help? She stared ahead. Because this galaxy has bigger monsters than the council. A cold wind blew across the metal deck. Kale looked to the stars, her voice quiet. And we've already met them. Asterisk, asterisk. Far beyond the known galaxy, a dark shape moved through the void. Bigger than anything built by humans. Older than any fleet. and watching. Asterisk, asterisk. The stars were calm. Nothing moved. It was just another quiet night on the edge of Galactic Council space. Commander Varlin sat in the control room of Patrol Station Delta 7. He had seen many strange things during his 30 years in space. Pirates, smugglers, lost ships. He had seen them all. But nothing had ever moved like this. "Sir," said Cadet Real, looking at his screen with wide eyes, "I'm picking up something strange." Varlin stood behind him, arms crossed. "Another drifting rock." "No, sir. It's fast. Too fast. And there's no ID code." Varlin raised an eyebrow. "What class is the vessel?" "It's not in the system. It's not registered in any database. No flag. No owner. Nothing." Varlin's face turned serious. "Put it on the main screen." The display lit up with a dark shape moving through the stars. It didn't look like a normal ship. No lights, no wings, no obvious engines. Just a long, shadowy form, silent and smooth, cutting through space like a knife. The station's sensors tried to lock on to the object, but the readings were wrong. "It's moving at..." Ryle stopped. "This can't be right. It's moving at 0.8 light speed." The entire control room went quiet. "That's impossible," whispered another officer. "No ship can move that fast without a warp core, and it's not even jumping." Varlin's mouth felt dry. He had seen advanced ships before, even secret council vessels. But this was something else. "Try hailing it," he ordered. Ryle pressed the command. A moment passed. Then two. Nothing. "Any response?" Varlin asked. Ryle shook his head. "No. And sir, it's changing course. It's heading straight for us." Varlin took a step forward. "That's no registered vessel." "Then why is it approaching so fast?" Ryle said softly. Alarms began to sound. The unknown ship had changed direction smoothly, like it wasn't even trying. In seconds, it closed the distance between itself and the station. Too fast for a normal ship. Too controlled for a meteor. "Shields up. Ready defensive batteries," Varlin said. "If this is a threat, we stand ready." But the guns never fired. Before they could, the dark shape shot past them. Silent, deadly, and graceful. It didn't shoot. It didn't stop. But as it passed by, the station shook. "Power drop," someone shouted. "Engines offline. We've lost gravity." Sparks flew from the ceiling. Screens went dark for a moment, then flickered back. "What did it do?" Varlin asked. No one had an answer. A nearby cruiser, the Ravenstar, tried to follow it. Varlin watched from the screen as the cruiser gave chase. Then, nothing. The Ravenstar blinked out of sight. Gone. "Did it jump?" Varlin asked. "No, it just vanished." Seconds later, a broken signal came through. It was the last message from the Ravenstar. Static filled most of the transmission, but one word came through clearly. A word that made everyone freeze. "Human." Silence filled the room again. "Human," Varlin repeated. That can't be right. That ship isn't in Earth's registry. It doesn't even look human." Ryle turned toward him slowly. "Then what is it, sir?" Varlin didn't answer. He stared at the screen, where the shadowy shape grew smaller and smaller, flying deeper into council space. He had a bad feeling. Not just fear, not just confusion. Something deeper. A warning. The council had said that humans were no longer a threat. That Earth had joined the Galactic Order and agreed to peace. That old human war machines were shut down or destroyed. But this ship, this thing, didn't follow the rules. It didn't ask. It didn't explain. It didn't even speak. It just moved, like a ghost from the past. Fast, cold, unstoppable. Varlin turned back to the crew. "Send a message to Central Command. Mark it top priority. An unknown human ship just entered council space, and we have no idea what it wants." As Ryle began typing, The station's lights flickered again. For just a moment, a voice came through the speaker. A soft whisper, glitchy, mechanical, but unmistakably human. "We are not forgotten." Everyone looked at each other. The war was supposed to be over. The galaxy was supposed to be safe. But now, the darkness had returned. And this time, it was human. The skies above Earth were quiet. But deep in the void, something massive was moving. It wasn't just one ship now. Old satellites began to pick up strange signals, ghostly whispers of once-dead human tech. War Command sat in silence, watching the feeds. "Sir," the communications officer said, his voice shaking, "we have 14 confirmed vessels." The general leaned forward. 14. The officer nodded. "And more signals are appearing every hour. They're all old Warfleet IDs, but their systems, they've evolved." "Evolved how?" the general asked. The tech officer zoomed in on one. The image showed a huge black vessel. Its surface was covered in scars and strange markings. Half of it looked like metal. The other half, no one knew. "It's human," the officer said, "but not like anything we've built. It's faster, stronger, smarter." Someone whispered, "They were lost, but they didn't die." The general looked at the screen again. "No," he said, "they adapted." Asterisk asterisk. In orbit over Mars, civilian space traffic began to stop. Docking ports were closed. Shuttles grounded. The Martian colony sent out a message. "To all travelers, do not approach unknown vessels. They are not under Earth's control." But it was too late. One of the ships had already arrived. It didn't speak. It didn't attack. It just hovered over the red planet, watching. The Martian governor sent a drone to greet it. The drone approached slowly, broadcasting peace signals in over 50 languages. The black ship opened a small hatch. The drone hovered near. Then suddenly, a panel lit up. Not in code, not in alien speech, but in old Earth Standard English. "You left us in the dark. Now we bring the dark to you." Then the drone shut down. Dead. No energy. No signals. It simply dropped from the sky. Asterisk asterisk. Meanwhile, on Earth, President Ward stood before the Global Security Council. He looked tired, haunted. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "our ghosts have returned." A senator asked, "Do we try to make peace?" Another shouted, "We should fire everything we have. Wipe them out before they attack." The president raised his hand. "No. If they wanted to destroy us, we'd already be ash. They haven't fired on Earth. Not once. Not yet." One of the generals spoke up. "We lied to the world for 300 years. We told people they were heroes, that they gave their lives fighting alien threats beyond the stars." He looked down. "But the truth is, we used them, sent them to fight a war they couldn't win, then cut off all contact, left them out there to die." Someone asked, "Why would we do that?" The general looked straight at the president. "Because they saw something out there. Something we weren't ready for." Asterisk asterisk. Far beyond the solar system, deep in unknown space, one of the old fleet's command ships moved into position. Inside it, the crew were no longer normal. They had changed. Not aliens. Still human. But twisted by time, silence, and war. Their captain, once Admiral Rice, stood by the main console. He was tall, pale. His eyes glowed faint blue. His voice echoed like metal. "Signal the others. Let Earth see what we became." Behind him, giant engines powered up. The walls pulsed with strange lights. From the darkness of the ship's hull, something unfolded. A massive construct. A weapon. A ship. A station. Nobody could tell. All anyone knew, it was terrifying. Asterisk asterisk. On Delta 7, Ryle sat staring at the signal feed. "Sir, you need to see this." Varlin stepped forward. On the screen, the structure hovered beside the lead fleet ship. It looked like a spider made of steel and black fire. "Do we know what it is?" Varlin asked. Ryle nodded slowly. "I think they built it out there. Piece by piece. A war machine." He zoomed in. "See those markings? They're human, but not recent. These are battle symbols. Memorials." Varlin frowned. "Memorials." Ryle's voice dropped. "I think each part of that thing represents a dead ship, a dead crew. They built their own graveyard, then turned it into a weapon." Asterisk, asterisk. On Treeless 9, Elias Trent stood at the edge of a cliff, watching the ship in orbit. His old war implant buzzed for the first time in decades. A voice spoke in his ear. It was deep, robotic, but familiar. "Elias Trent, Warfleet ID 4517. Still alive." He froze. "Who is this?" The voice replied. "You called us ghosts, but ghosts don't forget. Now we remember everything." Then the voice cut out. Elias clenched his fists. "They're not coming home to be welcomed," he said. "They're coming to show us what we did." Asterisk, asterisk. Earth's skies darkened as the first shadow fell over the moon. A black ship, the size of a city. It blocked the stars. No one on Earth looked away. They had returned, not for peace, not for war, but for judgment. The control room of Patrol Station Delta 7 was still cold and silent. Everyone had heard the voice. "We are not forgotten." No one moved. No one spoke. The words hung in the air like a ghost. Cadet Ryle looked at Commander Varlin. "Sir, was that real?" Varlin didn't answer right away. He was still staring at the dark screen. His hands were shaking slightly, not from fear, but from memory. "I fought in the border wars," he said finally. That voice, it sounded like something from those days, but different, sharper, like a machine trying to remember how to be human. One of the tech officers spoke. "Sir, the ship vanished, but we just picked up another signal. Same type, same speed, but this one's heading toward Trillis 9. Varlin's eyes widened. "That's a civilian colony. No defenses, no warning." The officer nodded. "If that ship reaches them, they won't be ready." Varlin turned sharply. "Send an emergency broadcast. Evacuation order. Now." The crew moved fast. Warning signals shot across space toward Trillis 9, but it might already be too late. Asterisk, asterisk. Far across the stars, on Trillis 9, the people were enjoying a calm evening. Families walked through markets. Children played under the blue twin moons. No one expected what was coming. Suddenly, the sky turned dark. A black shadow moved across the clouds like a knife cutting the stars. The alarms didn't sound in time. By the time the city towers lit up with warnings, the ship had already entered the atmosphere. It made no sound. It gave no warning. Just silence and fear. Then, all power shut down. Every light, every ship, every screen. Gone. The colony went dark. Asterisk, asterisk. Back on Delta 7, Ryle looked up from his console, pale and shaking. "Sir, we lost contact with Trillis 9. Varlin closed his eyes. "How long?" 10 minutes ago. "And the ship?" "Still there, hovering, watching, but it's not attacking." Varlin clenched his fists. "Then what is it waiting for?" A new message appeared on their screen. "PLAYBACK8F. Ilui. 2786. Hunan WAR. OETO Megia. Tila is Sci-fi. Leviel 10. Restricted." Ryle stared at it. "That's not from our system." Varlin leaned forward. "It's from deep archives, from the old war files." He hesitated, then opened the file. A shaky video appeared. Dusty, Old. It showed a battlefield, space torn by fire, ships exploding, screams echoing over radio. And in the center of it all, a dark ship. The same shape, the same black hull, the same speed. Warfleet Omega, the video said. Earth's last secret fleet. Lost. Forgotten. Never recovered. Then a final message. If this fleet ever returns, know this. It is not here to speak. It is here to remember. And it will not stop. The screen went black again. Asterisk, asterisk. Sir, Ryle whispered, this isn't just a ghost. It's a weapon. Varlin nodded. And we don't know who's controlling it, or if anyone is. He turned toward the crew. We need help. We need Earth. One officer stepped forward nervously. But sir, Earth said those ships were all destroyed. They signed the peace accord. Varlin shook his head. They lied, or they lost control of something bigger than all of us. He pointed to the comms. Send a direct message to Earth High Command. Bypass Council channels. Use the emergency code. Ryle hesitated. Sir, if we do that, the Council will know. They might see it as a breach of trust. Varlin looked him in the eye. If we wait, more colonies will go dark. This isn't about trust anymore. It's about survival. Asterisk, asterisk. In the darkness above Trillis 9, the black ship continued to hover. Silent. Still. Watching. Then, it released something. Not a bomb. Not a weapon. A small metallic pod. It fell slowly, like a feather, toward the colony's central plaza. When it hit the ground, it didn't explode. It opened. Inside was a human flag. Old, torn, burned, but unmistakably Earth's. And beneath it, a simple message etched into steel. You left us. We did not forget. The silence on Trillis 9 was heavy. People gathered in the plaza, staring at the small metal pod. The flag inside was old, human, but damaged. Many of the younger colonists didn't recognize it, but the older ones did. One man stepped forward. His name was Elias Trent. He was a retired space marine, now just a simple farmer. He knelt down, touching the burnt flag gently. This is from Earth's Warfleet, he whispered. They were the ones sent to die. A young woman beside him looked confused. I thought the Warfleet was destroyed centuries ago. Trent shook his head. That's what they told us. But some of us, we always knew something didn't add up. He turned to the others. They didn't die. They were abandoned. Asterisk, asterisk. Back on Delta 7, alarms were flashing again. Commander, Ryle called out. More ships. 3 new signals, same design, same speed, all moving fast. Varlin stepped closer to the main screen. Where are they heading? Outer colonies, Ryle said. All of them were part of Earth's original expansion zones. The tech officer added, they're not attacking, just appearing, hovering, watching. Varlin's jaw tightened. It's a message. Ryle frowned. What kind of message? Varlin turned to him. Vengeance. Asterisk, asterisk. On Earth, deep beneath the surface in a hidden command bunker, red lights blinked on. A general stormed into the war room. Get me a direct line to the president. Now. A nervous officer said, Sir, it's Warfleet Omega. It's back. The general's face turned pale. That's impossible. That fleet was marked as lost. They never responded. No signals. No survivors. But now they've returned, the officer replied. And they're not answering our calls. They're showing no ID but their tech. It's unmistakably human and deadly. The screen showed a chilling image. The Trillis 9 pod, the torn Earth flag, the steel message. You left us. We did not forget. Asterisk, asterisk. In orbit above Trillis 9, the black ship finally moved. Not fast, not aggressive, but slow, like it was waiting for something. Suddenly, A bright flash lit up the sky. A council ship appeared, one of the new patrol cruisers, sleek, modern, shiny. The captain of the cruiser, an alien named Thalruan, opened a channel. "This is Galactic Council ship Vekre. Identify yourself, unknown vessel." No answer. Thalruan tried again. "We are on a peacekeeping mission. You are in restricted space. Power down your systems and prepare for boarding." Still no answer. Then, a voice. The same mechanical, broken voice that had spoken before. "You do not speak for Earth." The black ship turned slowly, its massive front cannons powered up. Thalruan panicked. "Shields up. Move away." But it was too late. A single energy blast lit the sky like a second sun. The council ship vanished. No explosion, no debris. Just erased. Asterisk asterisk. On Delta 7, Ryle stood frozen. Did they just destroy a council cruiser with one shot? "Yes," Varlin said coldly. "And they made it look easy." The room was quiet. Finally, someone whispered, "Why are they doing this?" Varlin answered, "Because we lied. We said they were dead. We erased them from history, but they never died. They survived in the dark, alone, forgotten. And now, they want us to remember." Asterisk asterisk. On Treeless 9, Elias Trent gathered the people in the plaza. He looked up at the hovering warship. "They're not monsters," he said. "They're us. The version of us we left behind." A small child looked up and asked, "But will they hurt us?" Elias stared at the sky. "I don't know," he said softly. "It depends if they believe we're still human, or part of the ones who abandoned them." Asterisk asterisk. Inside the black ship, lights flickered across dusty control panels. Screens displayed thousands of old mission logs. A voice, calm, cold, human, spoke. "Target 1. Council vessels, classified as hostile. Target 2. Earth Command, awaiting final judgment." Then the voice paused. "Treeless 9. Human. Civilian. No threat detected. No action taken." The ship powered down its weapons and waited. Asterisk asterisk. Back on Earth, the president stared at the message. He looked at his generals. "How many ships do we think returned?" "Unknown," one replied. "We built 200 during the war. All of them vanished beyond the Orion line. We assumed they were destroyed by enemy forces. But now we know they weren't," the president said. Another general added, "If even 10 of them survived, we may be facing a force we can't stop." The president leaned back. "Then we don't stop them," he said. "We face them. We remember. And we answer for what we did." Asterisk asterisk. Above Earth, far away in the deep void, more signals began to wake up. One by one. Old. Forgotten. Human. They were coming home. The sky over Earth turned dark. Not from clouds, but from the shadow of a ship so large, it looked like a floating continent. News channels around the world streamed the image. People stood in the streets, pointing, silent. Phones buzzed. Alarms blared. But no one knew what to do. No weapons were fired. The ship didn't move. It just watched. And then, finally, it spoke. Every screen lit up with a single face. A man. Human, but not ordinary. His eyes were blue, glowing faintly. His skin pale like the void. A scar ran across his cheek. His voice echoed across every device, station, and military base. "We are the Forgotten Fleet. 3 centuries ago, you sent us to die. You closed the gates, turned off the beacons. We fought in the dark, alone. We survived. We evolved. And now, Earth must answer." Asterisk asterisk. Panic began to spread. Families ran to shelters. Politicians screamed into radios. The president stood before the world, speaking calmly. "We hear you," he said into the live stream. And we are sorry. But the voice replied, sorry is not enough. A second ship arrived, then a third, then dozens. The Black Fleet surrounded Earth like a cage. People cried, others knelt. Some raised flags of peace, but nothing stopped the silence. Then something strange happened. The fleet didn't fire weapons. Instead, they began broadcasting memories. Scenes appeared in the sky, giant holograms across cities. Images of the past. Humans fighting giant alien beasts on unknown worlds. Soldiers dying, screaming for help that never came. Broken ships floating in space, messages repeating on loop. Earth command. Do you copy? The world saw it all. The betrayal. The silence. The pain. And then, the rebuilding. Old ships turned into fortresses. Dead stars mined for power. The creation of the Black Fleet. They didn't die. They became something more. Asterisk, asterisk. On the moon, an Earth general activated a hidden weapon. Project Aegis, Earth's last defense shield. Sir, should we fire? His assistant asked. The general hesitated. Then said, no, not yet. They want justice, not war. Down below, people gathered in Times Square, watching the skies. The message changed. We will not destroy Earth, but we will not let it control the stars again. You left us behind. Now, we take the lead. The ships began to move, slowly rising toward deep space. But one remained, the largest, the command ship. A beam of light shot down to Earth. In it stood a woman, tall, armored in black. Her chest bore the old Warfleet symbol. She stepped out, standing before the UN building. I am Admiral Kale, she said. Born human, forged in exile. Why have you come? The Secretary General asked. She looked around, her voice cold. We have come to end the lies. She lifted a small device. It lit up, showing all classified records of the Warfleet missions, made public instantly. Billions saw the truth. Earth had known. Earth had lied. And Earth had forgotten. But the fleet had not. Asterisk, asterisk. As the truth spread, something began to change. People wept. Old veterans came forward, survivors who thought they were the last. Families of the dead saw their loved ones alive in the fleet. A woman screamed as her brother, believed lost for 300 years, spoke through a screen. I never stopped thinking of you. Around the world, silence turned to sorrow. And then, to unity. For the first time in centuries, Earth saw the truth. Not just shame, but the strength of those who came back. Admiral Kale raised her hand. We do not want war. We want honor. She looked up at the stars. We will lead the next age of humanity, not from Earth, but from the dark, where we were made. She vanished in a flash of light. The ship above Earth turned slowly, joining the others. Then, one by one, the Black Fleet disappeared into hyperspace, leaving only silence behind. Asterisk, asterisk. Back in the control room, Elias Trent watched them go. They didn't come to conquer, he whispered. Varlin nodded beside him. They came to remind us who we are, and what we must never become again. Asterisk, asterisk. A week later, a small message appeared on Earth's global net. We are the Watchers now. We protect the stars, and if Earth forgets again, we will return. The skies were clear once more, but everyone knew. The shadows above had not gone forever. They were out there, watching, waiting, and now the galaxy would never be the same again.